That ability to kind of see. There's times when it seems like you see the play before the play happens.
Well, I think it's preparation. It's the coaches, it's my teammates, it's AWOC saying, hey, look, this is a draw, or hey, look, this is a crack toss, right? I think, for me, it's a combination of many things. It's not just my own personal understanding or IQ, but it's all those all-encompassing reasons. It's a program, it's a team, and all of that kind of circles back to that.
I think with Dave, certainly want to feature him. I think his skill set, as we all know, great size, great length in terms of catching the football, being able to go up and pluck contested catches. I would speak to his development as a blocker. That's something that I'm proud of David for his evolution of a blocker. So I think, to your question, Daryl, yes, I think there's an evolution that will continue for Dave, the player.
Today, I want to break down David Njoku and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, two players that are key difference makers for the Cleveland Browns. YouTube gang, what is up? It's Above Me, and I am your boy, The Cloud. We are back with another banger video. Please be sure to leave a comment with your thoughts down below. If there are any players that you would like for me to break down, leave their name in the comments. Let's get it. David Njoku will be entering his 8th season with the Cleveland Browns, and let me tell you, we have watched this man evolve over the course of his time as a Brown. He's developed into a very nice route runner. He knows how to work his big frame in space and after the catch. And I really think he's one of the better blocking tight ends in the game. And my favorite thing about David Njoku is that I believe we haven't seen him hit his final form yet. David Njoku came into the league at 20 years old in 2017, and he was already growing into the tight end position when the Cleveland Browns drafted him. We all have watched the young man that came into the league grow into the man that we all see today. As David Njoku found his footing in the NFL and with the Cleveland Browns, coming into the 2020 season, he became disgruntled with his usage within the offense. And he didn't really like the direction under previous leadership from Hugh Jackson and Freddie Kitchens. He began to feel like he would be better off elsewhere. The Browns signed Austin Hooper and drafted Harrison Bryant during that same offseason, and it made it seem like David Njoku was really on his way out of the door. But one of the biggest pieces was that first-time head coach Kevin Stefanski, and he stated he wanted to use all three tight ends within this offense. You could see Andrew Berry had a firm belief in Stefanski at the time of his hire, and keeping Njoku was going to be a big part in the success of the offense in his mind. Let's look at how it ended up working in the long haul. Under the leadership of Kevin Stefanski, David Njoku really began to separate himself from the other tight ends. While David Njoku has always had his fair share of lack of concentration drops, he had the most consistent hands out of all three of these tight ends. Austin Hooper couldn't catch the microwave before it hit zero. He literally couldn't block you on social media. Harrison Bryant was a low risk, high reward type thing, but he doesn't have the physical gifts that David Njoku has. Like, let's be honest. All Browns fans knew David Njoku was the best tight end in our group, and even though lack of production and he wasn't being used the way he needed to, we knew we needed this guy on our team. And with that first year in Kevin Stefanski's offense, he really earned that spot. Now let's speed run it down why David Njoku is going to help the Browns this season. Njoku has stepped into the leadership role for this offense, and as the vocal leader for the guys, he has the confidence, and he's grown and he's shown that he trusts Coach Stefanski and he trusts this offense. With that trust, he's been able to really step into that role and shine, and he's taken it seriously over the past 2 seasons. Now coming off of a career year where he had 81 catches, 6 touchdowns, and 882 yards, it's time for him to put the league on notice. And he's out to prove his name holds the same weight as Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Mark Andrews. So let's break down what stands out. David Njoku has started to take advantage of working in space and sitting in holes of the defense. And once he gets his motor going and gets his legs turning, he's really tough to bring down. Here on this play, the Browns are lined up in a trips right formation with the wide David Njoku being split standing on the line of scrimmage. The Browns are running a wide stick concept here, a slant on the backside, an out route from the slot to clear out the defender over the top of him, and a go route from the far outside receiver to pull the corner down the field. A stick route by the tight end getting to a spot in the middle of the field is what David Njoku's responsibility is here. At the snap of the ball, Roquan Smith is already at 6 yards off of the ball, and his first steps were backwards 2 more yards. David Njoku recognizes that he gets quickly 2-3 yards, giving the quarterback a quick target. David Njoku has a great feel for the field here. He turns quickly outside, pressing vertical up the field. He manages to make one of the best linebackers in the league miss. Then he shows the difference between boys and men. He just barrels through these defenders. Look at the hit Patrick Queen tries to put on him. These are Pro Bowl linebackers bouncing off of this guy. And he's turning a 3 to 6 yard catch into a 24-yard gain. Him being a threat in small spots like this gives defensive coordinators more things to game plan for. Now, one of my favorite things about David Njoku working well with Kevin Stefanski is that Kevin Stefanski likes to design plays to get David open. His creativity shows a lot, and it's a true testament to the work that these two have put in. Let's look at 3 plays and just how the design of the play helps David show his skills. Stefanski manages to get the ball to David Njoku a lot out in the flat so he can work in space and make plays. On the first play, David is lined up in tight off of the ball. He comes off of the ball and opens up to run the flat route. Instantly, the defender tries to jump that flat route. He's probably seen this flat route a couple times during this game. He probably saw this flat route on film, and he instantly wants to make a play on this ball. But Njoku, as he opens up his frame, he turns back instantly down the line and sneaks right behind the blocks of his tackles and guards, and he splits these guys and makes a beautiful play. The design on this play is another testament to the trust that David has with Stefanski. If he does his job early and wins these matchups early, it's going to help us later in the game. The next play is another play versus Seattle from last season, down a lot of key offensive weapons. Everything had to be earned last season for the Browns, and we saw a lot of tight end screen action from all types of directions. The Browns use a lot of motion shifts to create confusion for the defense. Elijah Moore comes in motion across the formation and loops around the quarterback and running back to the left, deep into the flat. At the snap of the ball, the quarterback goes run fake to the right. Then he pump fakes back to Elijah Moore, back left. I like, as this is going on, the left guard is running straight down the line to further sell the screen on the back side of the field. It's a lot going on, but this has the defense thinking. You got guys moving all over the place. You're opening up more holes in the defense. Njoku is really patient here, coming off of his block and holding his space as if he's another blocker for the running back. And then he clears to the middle of the field once he sees the linebacker is committing his momentum towards the flat. Once again, getting the ball into his hands in space, and he's going to make the rest happen. Another play is Stefanski knowing what his guys are capable of and scheming him open. On this play, it is 3rd and 1, and the Browns are in a heavy formation. A lot of beef on the line of scrimmage. Lineman Nick Harris is at fullback, and they're showing a heavy run threat here. The defense has 8 men on the line of scrimmage to match the 8 on the line for the offense. The only goal on this defense's mind is stop the run here. It's clear as day. And Njoku sneaks past the defensive lineman, almost making it look like he whiffed on the block, but he just gets right into the route with speed and it's literally over. He's done a great job over the past 2 seasons using his body and his length to create different angles for him to work his hands and create space for only himself. On this play here, he does a great job at keeping his eyes with the QB and working his hands late at the last second to not give the defender enough time to react. He gets a nice high point on this ball and he brings it in for 6. He's done much better at winning body one-on-one physical matchups for the ball. When the team is at full health, his threat blocking, his threat to defense is down the field, and his ability to work in open space is going to make life much easier for Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, Elijah Moore, Deshaun Watson, and the running backs within this offense. The biggest factor is going to be, will Deshaun Watson play like the Deshaun Watson of old? Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, or JOK to most, is going to be 24 years old entering his 4th season with the Cleveland Browns. Easily one of the biggest steals for the Browns during the 2021 draft, falling to the Browns in the 2nd round. JOK has a motor like no other. He plays with a great level of determination. He has a great spatial awareness and great feel for the field. He plays fast. He uses his speed well. He plays under a lot of control, and his impact and energy is noticeable on this Browns defense. Last season, he's coming off of his best season so far of his young career. He had 101 tackles, 72 solos, 29 assists, where he also had 3.5 sacks and 2 interceptions. He also led the entire NFL last season in tackles for loss. This season, he is going to be the longest tenured linebacker in Brown within that group. And the spirit and passion that he plays with is going to need to be contagious. Bringing back a lot of key pieces for one of the best defenses in the league last season. Growth as a unit and experience is going to be important if the Browns want to continue to compete for a title. Let's talk about the things that show up for JOK on film and why he will continue to thrive in this defense. The biggest things that stand out when you turn on the tape for JOK is his speed, his bendiness, his angles, and his ability to read his keys and react. Jim Schwartz knows how to use this guy. He places him all over the field. He sends him off the edge. He keeps him in the middle of the field, and he knows how to make plays everywhere. He uses his speed well to beat players to the space. And looking at these first 2 plays, reading your keys is one of his best traits. The Jets are split tight here with a lot more beef on the line of scrimmage. They're trying to get the defenders close to the ball so they can leverage outside them. At the snap of the ball, 2 things are happening here for JOK. The first thing is he's looking at the running back direction. The back goes to the opposite side, so his goal is to fill that backside gap at the snap. Once he reads that and he knows that he has all of this area to fill, he sees these blockers coming his way and he knows the action is coming towards him. But what I like that he does here is he doesn't press into that blocker. He stays lateral and he doesn't allow that defender to square him up. Let's look at his feet. He's playing running back at this point. He's evading defenders. He's shooting quick, violent hands to get to the ball. On this next play, let's look at how fast he just reads and reacts to this play. He's lined up right over Breece Hall, leveraging outside that tackle's outside shoulder. At the snap of the ball, Breece Hall steps outside the tackle instead of inside. JOK literally sees that. He knows the screen is coming. What is he doing there? He's not doing nothing but buying time. JOK flies down like a bat out of hell. These fast pursuits and these type of plays, game-changing plays. When JOK is lined up on the edge, it's going to be a problem for everybody. He accelerates off the line with so much speed. He has great pursuit and he rarely misses his point of attack. There are not too many linebackers in the league that can make plays like this, that have the speed to still remain under control and make that tackle. It's just another play. I don't know who they think they fooling on this play, but he's not going for it. He's living in the backfield. When you put him on the edge, he is flying off of the edge and he's literally going to get into the backfield instantly. It's all about being under control and making a tackle at that point. Same formation as the last play before. This time, the motion comes right into his lap. He was just stat padding at this point. He's going to get better at picking these spots again next season with more experience in this system. He's going to feel more comfortable knowing when he needs to shoot, knowing what angles he needs to pursue at. On this play, his ability to read those keys again, then he reacts with great speed. The ball snap, he sees the center blocking down, and it's basically him in a free lane to the running back. He shoots through. He does a great job at making this play in the backfield. Versus the Baltimore Ravens here, he was brought into Cleveland to help the Browns defend Lamar Jackson. There's no doubt in my mind about that. He knows the assignment every time he plays them. They like that read option. At the snap of the ball, he sees the tackle, let Zadarius Smith, the DN, go here. He knows the option is coming. He shoots down, once again, like a bat out of hell. Great point of attack. He covers that entire space. Lamar Jackson can't even sneak the ball around him. These are the type of plays that are game changers.
Well, each year is a progression, with experiences, with time, with meeting new coaches, meeting new players. There's always something that you're feeding off of. There's always something that you're growing off of. So I think that each year, even every day, right? Even every day we grow 1%. So I think that, the more that you're here, the more intensity that you put to the time that you have, the more you'll grow. So
So I feel both of these guys understand the importance of what everybody in the building is trying to accomplish. And I think having two guys on your team like this isn't just great for the locker room, but it's great for our community. They're not just great players, they're both great men. And I think David Njoku and JOK are going to be the most important players for the Browns this season. But I'm happy to hear from y'all. What do y'all think? Who do y'all think is going to be the most important player for the Browns this season? What do you think about David Njoku and JOK going into this year? Please, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like, leave a comment. If it's any players that you want featured on this channel, holla at your boy. Leave a name down in the comments. Spread that love, y'all. Be that light. At the end of the day is over. Always remember that. Keep the main thing the main thing. God comes first, and you need to always remember, please never forget, it's above me.